Okay. Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. If you are tuning in, my name is Elizabeth. I am an executive ambassador with Q Sciences, and I am here to talk about content creation. This is something that I love very deeply. It is a passion of mine, something I would like to take to the next level someday. But for now, I wanted to give a few tips on how we can utilize, hold on one second, let me put my phone away, how we can utilize our social media in a way that feels authentic and like our truth. I have squirrel brain, so I'm going to close out anything that might distract me. So there's a word that's been really showing itself a lot in my life this week, and it's trust. So I know from following my intuition and being aligned with my spirit guide that that's something that I need to be touching on. Trust is really important in all aspects of life, but especially in business. If you wanted to open up a brick and mortar, say with another person, say you're going to go 50-50 with this person, right? You guys were going to drop 50 grand into this, I don't know, candle store. And this other person who you didn't really know, it's not your best friend, it's not your husband, it's not, it's just a person. Would you go through all of that if you didn't trust this person? Like even on a business level, like if you didn't honestly think to yourself, this is someone that I can trust, I can be honest with, I can be direct with, I can lead with, I can be inspired by. If all those marks were not hit, there's no way you're going to drop that kind of money. Okay. So I want you guys to take that thought process and apply it to your business and apply it to all the content that you put out into the world. Because when we are asking people to come look at Q Sciences, we're not just asking them to sign up for an MLM, okay? Because we don't do that here. We're not just some random MLM that's like, oh, come join for 20 bucks and get this box of makeup, and then you're gonna, send a bunch of cold messages. That's not what we do here. We are asking people to trust us, because when you join Q Sciences, you join a community, you are asked to do things that are uncomfortable. You're asked to grow in ways that you didn't think were going to happen. And while we don't have to necessarily talk about those things as a prerequisite, like it's something that happens when we want to have that level of trust. I have personally enrolled people that I didn't have a level of trust with, and they didn't trust me enough to do the work. They didn't trust enough that I had the leadership skills to guide them. So trust is what we're going to be going off of today. I'm going to be talking about I want to help you create your brand. I don't want to call it a niche because that word is overrated. Okay. But I want you guys to understand this statement is people are not joining or buying from Q. They're joining you. Okay. The 40 preferred customers I have signed up underneath me, they didn't sign up as a customer because Q Sciences is the new target. Okay. They signed up because they saw something from me that they needed, because they trust me and because that level of community is built, because that level of trust is built. So I want you guys to take a pen and paper if it's possible, and if not, do this later. I want you to write down 3 things that you can talk about day in, day out, no matter what. If someone comes and says to you, Karen, tell me about veganism. Taryn's going to go, oh, let me tell you about veganism. I'm calling her up because I know this is something she's super passionate about. She's going to be like, oh, do you have a couple days? Because I can talk about this. I want you to take 3 things that you can talk about all day long, and I want you to write them down right now. I'm going to do it too. Okay. And it's okay if they're like categories. So one of mine is going to be yoga / meditation / energetics, because I have a lot of categories that I could talk on. So I'm going to, if it's a subcategory, that's okay. Would anyone care to share in the comments or unmute yourself?
I did veganism, nutrition, and fitness.
Perfect. I wrote down nutrition / body systems.
Ooh, I didn't think about that one.
I am a big geek when it comes to how the body systems work.
Same, digestion is key.
Yes. And it's really hard because so many companies talk about like the gut and how that's where our brain comes from. So it's like, I don't want to fall into the mix of that, but seriously, the gut is literally the control out. It's like the control system of our entire body, like for real. Neurodiversity / autism and energetics. Okay, so anyone else want to share their categories? Oh, perfect. Heidi says mommying, crafting, women's health, mental health. Good. Women's health. Okay, that is something that is becoming really important in our world. I actually have a friend who has a fitness system, like a fitness program that's completely based off of your cycle. It's completely based off of hormones and cycling. It is phenomenal. I think it's absolutely amazing. So women's health, yes. Yes, great. And you know what's really cool is none of these things really, no one wrote down Q Sciences. And that's not to say that we don't love our jobs, because I love my business. I love it. I actually have a really hard time turning it off, something I'm working on. But I want you guys to understand that people are not following us because we're Q Science. They're following us because we provide some level of value to their lives, okay? So I want you guys to take these 3 categories, and I want you to make all of your content off of these 3 categories. Now, I'm not saying you should never talk about your business, but I want you to commit to making your brand, what people go to your page for about this. Put some Q Sciences in your stories. Make a post about how joining this business or starting running your business has brought you to being able to work on these things. You know, I always work Q Science when I'm talking about my son. Whenever I talk about autism and I share Santino's stories, I always involve Q Sciences in that, because he's the reason I'm in this business in the first place. There are ways to bring your business. When I talk about energetics, my business is always involved. Energetics is how I run my business. So when I talk about energetics, my business is going to be part of that. But I don't personally teach people to drop a list of bullet points of what makes us different, because there's so much noise on social media. I could open my Facebook right now, in a span of 5 minutes, I could probably see 15 posts about why my company's different, why my company's cool, why my collagen is better than yours. It's everywhere, you guys. And we're not even talking about Facebook ads. We're just talking about other people in the industry. This is a way for you to stand out. And not just stand out, but stand proud about what you believe in. And the more you do it, the more passionate you're going to become. People can feel your energy. People message me all the time and say, Elizabeth, like, I feel your energy in your posts. Taryn is a perfect example. She literally, the reason she's in this business is she reached out to me. She's like, what is it that you do? And I told her what I did. And she's like, I don't know what it is about you, but your energy is freaking awesome. And I want to do whatever it is that you're doing. And now she's my rock star. So let your passions drive your content, and it will be simple at that point. Don't worry about here's what it comes down to. If you want to look into what niching is and what creating your brand is, I think it's all great information. I just don't want you guys to get too caught up in like worrying about what everyone else needs. I want you to worry about what you need. And once you are filling your cup and you are talking about things that you love, people are going to naturally be attracted to you. So when you start having private conversations with people and those conversations become organic, that's when you can start inviting people to the business. And that's something we're going to talk about on Friday with Ashley, okay? Developing relationships, developing trust. This is how we get people in our business, okay? Don't overthink your content. Anything can be content. I literally just took a selfie of myself doing a freaking passe, just a dance term, with my arms up, standing in my really unorganized bedroom, and it's going to be my content for today, more than likely. And content doesn't have to be complicated. For me, I like to have quotes. Every time I listen to personal development, I write things down that really resonate with me and they become my posts, okay? That's something that I do daily. Every single morning when I take my kids to school, I'm listening to a podcast. That is my motivation for the day. And while you will see a jump in the interaction in your posts, when you stop focusing on, oh my God, I have to talk about Q today, or, oh, this feels like such a burden because like, I don't want to, this is awkward. Like when you take all that out, you're going to find a lot more people being attracted to your posts. And then you can have private conversations. Okay. I would like for you guys to think about what your mission statement is. And this might be kind of difficult for some of you. It might take some work. It might take some inward digging. And I'm going to share with you what my mission statement is. And this just came to me the other day. This is not something that I've had forever. I'm almost 2 years into my business and I'm just now developing what my mission statement is. It's creating a sustainable business that aligns with your truth. That is what I want to help people do. I love Q and the simple systems that it has, and I am grateful for the simple systems that it has, but I am not Q Sciences. I am not our corporation. I am me, and my leadership skills are going to differ between everyone else who's in this industry. Everyone has their own style. For me, I feel the most authentic when I can help people build sustainable business that aligns with their truth. That's what I'm here to do. So I want you to think about you. And that mission statement doesn't have to be about your leadership. When you think about Q Sciences, when you think about what you're here to do with your business, why you're showing up and putting your time, money, and energy into this, what is that inner thing that drives you the most? Is it about helping people understand? Is it about, women understanding their hormones better so that they can live a more fulfilled life and being able to mommy on a better level? That's not very eloquent, is it? But you get my point. Like, think about this. And you don't have to develop it today. I just want you guys to think about it. And over time, you're finally it's going to snap. It's going to be like that. This came to me Monday night in the shower. Okay. And I was like, this is it. This is it for me. My job as a leader is to help people build a sustainable business that aligns with their truth. And if it clicked for you, please send it to me later because I cannot wait to read it. I cannot wait to see if this resonates for you guys. And does anyone have any questions before we move forward? Like, do you understand what that mission statement could potentially look like? No? Okay. And this is only if, you really want to take your content creation to the next level, this is what content creation looks if you were to like do a mastermind or a crash course in content creation. People who are who provide services online, like maybe business coaches or energetic coaches or people like that. This is how they build their business. Okay. I'm going to give you a small system. And if it's something you want to dive into, we can have a whole nother conversation about that. But when you look at content creation, repurposing, this is something that it would look like. Okay. Say maybe you go live on your Instagram or your Facebook and you're talking about, say I go live on my Facebook and I'm talking about how I help people build sustainable businesses that align with their truth, how that looks different from anything else I've done in my life, how I got here, what that means, who am I attracting, who am I looking for, who do I feel, how can I feel like I can help these people? Say I go live on Facebook or Instagram, whatever your jam is. I'm going to take a small portion of that live, clip a video from it, stick it in a reel, and that's my reel for the day, okay? I could even put my phone behind my computer and take a video of myself while I'm, like, I could literally put my phone right here. I probably should actually put my phone in my ring light here, take a video of me training. Then I can put that in my stories later on today and say, this is what it looks like to be in my business. This is what it looks like to have me as a mentor. This is what it looks like for me to be fully aligned with my business. I might just do that right now, actually. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take that content. Hold on, guys. You're going to take that content and break it up into your stories. Even if you took a picture, you could transcribe your live that you did. My daughter's school just called me. You could take the transcript from your live, even if you wrote it out, and that's what you would put in your storyline. Okay. So that gives you content for 1 to 2 days. That is not something that I would like train someone on because that goes into a different level that I don't even do. But for me, when I'm thinking about content creation, I'm going to write my post. Today, it's going to be more business related, kind of what we're talking about here, my mission statement. I'm going to break it up into about 3 to 5 storylines. And I'm just going to put text over the same picture that I put on my post. That's basically breaking down my post. Same wording. I'm just going to break it up into different stories because I know the people who are watching my stories aren't necessarily the people who see my posts. Throw that up in my stories. Always do your sandwich method. Entertain, educate, entertain. That's how I train on stories. If you don't know what that means, please let me know. It's very effective. Because you don't ever want to just be talking about your business and your stories. People will stop watching you. Trust me, I stop watching people all the time because they put stuff in their stories. Oh, you could also speed up a clip that you record and make it into either a reel or a post. So there's lots of ways of repurposing. And then some people who have podcasts, they would take the audio from their Facebook Live and they would make it into a podcast episode. So you really can see how this can really get super deep. Okay. Definitely not something we need to focus on here. I really want to help all of us get down into a level of trust with people, really providing a level of value. If I post something about autism, and someone makes a comment and says that they're struggling or maybe offer some support, I'm probably going to get in their DMs and say, hey, thanks so much for your comment. Let's talk. Like, I want to help you. I want to talk. Like, let's talk it out. What are you dealing with? What can I help you with? And that conversation may or may not lead to business, but I've just created a trust. So next time I go in my stories, I'm going to post a testimony from our testimony group talking about another child who may have been helped by our products. And I know that that person is going to see my stories. This is what we call passive attraction marketing. And it's very effective if we're utilizing it well. So if you're ever in a conversation with someone and maybe you ask them to take a look at the business and they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm a little scared. I've been with my company for X long and I don't want to let my team down. I'm not making any money. I'm wasting my time completely, but I don't want to let my team down. You could, I don't know, go find one of our leaders who have a similar story and put them in your stories, or maybe you could go live in your story and just talk about that objection, not directly at the person, but talk about people you've seen overcome these objections. And that's a really great way to attract people without necessarily directing it at them. Does that make sense? I see 2 comments. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Anyone have any comments or concerns? Oh, one thing also before I let you guys go, because this went quicker than I was expecting, which is awesome. Something I do train when people first partner with me. I don't want to say join me. When people first partner with me in business, I teach them on posting about the 5 F's. There's a couple reasons why I do this. One, I think that becoming fluent in our company culture builds belief, it builds trust, it builds excitement. It also highlights why we are different without having to say we are different. And it's easy. It's really easy to say, okay, I'm going to take the 5 F's. I'm going to write 5 posts about it. And then maybe I'll do a product post, or maybe I'll just post 5 days this week. Or maybe I'll make the rest about my kids. I don't know. But taking the 5 F's and breaking those down into your posts every week is a really easy way to stay on target, stay on schedule of posting on your social media. And it's not necessarily about business. I mean, if you want to make your finance post about business, fantastic. Some people talk about finances very literally, like, hey, I had a meeting with my finance coach. Did you know that when I partnered with Q Sciences, I got a free financial coach? And I Googled how much financial coaching costs, and it's $200 an hour. And I get that for free. Like, that's pretty rad.
On the website nerdwallet.com, they say coaching rates are typically between $100 to $300 an hour.
Google just answered me. Google, hey Google, stop. Hey Google, stop. Okay, there you go. Coaching costs $100 to $300 an hour. Okay. And you get it for free. So you can be super literal, or you can talk about how since you've started your business, you've become a little bit more financially savvy than you used to. I'm in a phase where I'm not spending and I'm paying off all my credit cards, and I'm damn happy about that. Like, sometimes adulting is okay. I'm not mad about it. I spent years not paying my credit cards, and I would just go get more. Okay. Like, I'm an adult now, and I'm proud of that. So you can really take that 5 F's thing to a great level. I mean, it can really just carry you week through week. And if you ever get stuck, please know that you can reach out to me, because I'm like, oh, I don't know why I didn't bring this up. So sorry, you guys. Okay. So I have my beautiful notebook from convention, right? What I have in here, and I've been doing this for quite a while, is I have subcategories of things that I talk about. So maybe you take your three things that make your brand, right? I have quotes. It's because I'm constantly writing down quotes. I also have a list of energetics that I want to talk about: setting boundaries, leaning in, leaning back. That probably doesn't make any sense. Are you practicing what you preach? Fear of success, creating the vibe from within. What is the vibe? These are content ideas. This is called content mapping. Okay. You can find a lot of information on content mapping on Google, on YouTube, everywhere. But I highly suggest you take a notebook and you content map. Spend an hour a week, a day, I don't know, and say, I'm talking about body systems. Maybe I'm gonna literally write down all the body systems: digestive system, spinal, brain, nervous system, skin, organs. And now I have my categories. Maybe I choose 3 bullet points per category that I want to talk on. And anytime I need to make content, all I have to do is pick up this notebook and say, I want to talk about skin today. Did you know that skin is the largest organ of our body? Did you also know that skin conditions actually stem from the gut and not actually from the skin? There you go. Content done and freaking done. Okay. So do not like squander the concept of just writing stuff down, because it's highly effective. So I suggest you get yourself a notebook. You section off your 3 subjects, maybe leave a 4th one for good measure, and start making yourself some subcategories. Or you could take a white piece of paper and literally make an umbrella. Write down your main category, write down 3 subcategories, and then you could just branch off from there. Throw it up on your wall so that you can look at it and say, oh, that'd be something super cool to think about. Or maybe I'll go research that tonight. It's really just about having your wheels turning in that direction all the time. Because I know for me, I spend a lot of time in my early business feeling like I always had to talk about my business. And the truth is I don't. I just need to provide value, and I need to build trust. And people will trust me, and then they will either partner with me or purchase from me. Most of the time. Some people aren't fit for this, but if no one has any questions, I'm going to let y'all go and find out why my daughter's school just called me. No? Okay, guys. Love you. Peace.
Bye.